fermentation process and
Yeah,
all the wort and whatnot.
You want me to go through the thing or just?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Sure.
What's going on up there?
Alright, so everything starts over here with our silo. That silo is filled with 50,000 pounds of two-row grain. We'll go through that in about 6 months. We're going to take that two-row grain, which is our base malt we use in all of our beers, and we're going to hog it over here to the hopper. The hopper's going to drop it down into the mill room, in which the mill room is going to kind of bust open all the husk of the grain.
Oh, okay.
To expose all the sugars on the inside, all the seeds. So you can also see up there, there's some other bags of different types of malts. We got some wheat up there, things like that. I got some samples over here if you want to check out other different malts here.
Huh.
You got like a chocolate malt.
Sure.
You got like a crystal. There's your wheat right there. So we usually just use like a barley.
And of course we got to kick the jams.
Yeah, you got to kick the jams, dude. 97.9. After we break open the husk of the grain, we're then going to hog it again over here to the mash tun. We're going to drop that milled up grain to the mash tun, and basically we're going to kind of filter through hot water. I like to describe this process kind of like a tea bag. You're dipping a tea bag in hot water.
Hey now.
Not that kind of tea bag. I mean,
oh yeah.
But you know when you squeeze out the tea and you get
that last
So that's basically over here what we do there. We're gonna filter that hot water through all that milled up grain, and we're gonna extract all the sugars, and everything we got from the grain. From the husk, we'll get the color, and then from the actual seed, we'll get the sweetness for the beer, the sugars that we need for the beer.
What's going on here? This thing.
This here, I believe they call this a vortex, and this just allows the brewers to see through, make sure it's the right color before we go to our next step. I believe it's vortex. It's the name of that.
That's about right to me.
I can talk to Bubba about that. So after we do this process, we're going to extract all that sweet sugar water, and we're gonna shoot it over here to our kettle. In the kettle, we're going to put it to boil for about an hour, and this is where we add our hops. We add our hops at 3 different periods during the boil. The first time's for bitterness, second time's for taste, and the final is the aroma. Different levels there. It's here for an hour. If you're familiar with hops,
little flowery looking things.
Yeah, little flower buds. Fresh samples here. Because we do have a hop line growing it up alongside.
Oh right, yeah. That's where you guys usually do that's where you get the hop harvest stuff, right? Yeah. It's like right over there.
So after starting here, we boil that sweet extract, that wort.
The wort. Yep.
We're going to cool it down. Under the stairs here is a heat exchanger, and we're going to bring that boil down to about 70 degrees using the heat exchanger, and then pump it over here to the fermenter.
Well, how do you guys cool it down so fast?
The heat exchanger back there, it's like a radiator,
Oh, okay. Right.
And we're going to cool it down to about 70 degrees.
So when I'm doing it, I take my 5-gallon thing on a stove, stick it in a sink with ice.
Oh, and it's ice
just
bath?
to drop it down so fast, otherwise it keeps cooking.
Same process.
Yeah. Except you guys got obviously the fancy thing.
Yeah. We're going to pump it over here where we had the yeast as it transfers over here to the fermenter tanks. In here it's going to sit, if it's an ale, it'll sit here for about 2 to 3 weeks fermenting. If it's lagers take about 4 to 5 weeks, so it'll take a little longer. This is a pretty fresh batch here. Look, we got batch 946 since we've opened. The styles are 71 Pale Ale, brewed on the 7th.
One of my favorites.
The yeast strain we use is 18. Generation 3 is we've used this strand 3 times over when we've made this. So it adds a little extra character each time we reuse that yeast, a little extra flavor to the beer. And then this is the reaction. This is the natural reaction, the carbonation that happens when you...
Oh, that's the gas coming out of it?
That's the CO2.
Holy cow! So it's like a giant airlock.
Yeah,
because like the airlock on my 5-gallon thing's like that big.
Yeah, and if you're
well, hold on. It's like that big. This one is that big.
Yeah, we fill with water. We don't want that gas in here.
Right.
But a lot, as a home brewer.
Oh, no pictures.
You probably did.
Ah!
Just remember that Budweiser spills more beer in a day than I brew in a year.
Well, yours is better.
So after it sits there and ferments, we're then going to either filter it and send it into the carbonated room, or we're just going to send it right in unfiltered. This is our filter right here.
What the hell is this thing, for aliens?
I think that's just a pump sting, maybe. I'm not sure what that is. What's
You guys
this
are ready for the zombie apocalypse right there.
This pump, right? It's just pump.
Oh, okay.
So filter right here, giant filter. We put in some
okay.
cardboard paper filters in
Sure.
between. We'll run the beer through that, kind of pull all the yeast and any leftovers, make the beer clear. Unless it's an unfiltered beer.
Whoop, here's a 19
That's
hole
the new
for
one, yeah.
the PGA guys.
That's right. That's right.
Yep.
After we filter it or unfilter, we just send it over here to our carbonating room. We force carbonate. Being a home brewer, you probably bottle. It takes about 2 weeks.
A couple of weeks,
to
in the
natural
bottles,
carbonate.
yeah.
So for us, we can force carbonate, and we're able to do that within a day. So we can.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, we can brew a beer, and then it takes about a whole day to force carbonate it so it's ready to be served, instead of waiting 2 weeks. So it's really fresh, and we can really turn a product pretty quick.
So ordinarily, let's see, trying
It's
to remember.
self-carbonating.
I get the 5-gallon thing, and I put the tapper thing at the bottom, and I put it in the bottles, and then it's 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But you're saying, like right then and there, you're adding the carbonation.
Yeah, we can just shoot, and then boom.
But what about the aging?
It's been fermented, for the 2 to 3 weeks. The fermenter tank. That's
Oh,
all
okay.
we need,
Sure.
It does its final process of the taste and everything in that. And this is just carbonating and cool it. In this room, it's about 36 degrees. The beer stays in here for maybe a month and a half, depending on how long we go through it. It's got little rulers and stuff on the side, so the brewers know how much is in each tank. So they know, when it gets down to a certain level, when we can start brewing, depending on how much we sell each week. So it keeps them consistent. So this is the final step. These red hoses are the carbonating going into each tank. The color hoses go right to the bar, to the tappers.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, technically, if a bartender left a tap open, you could drain out a whole tank into
kidding.
the bar.
Oh, is that right? I didn't
That's
know
why
those came from here.
We're able to advertise.
I figured you guys had these.
No, we don't peg. Everything's fresh, right out of the mother's mouth. The teat. So that's why fresh beer tastes totally different from like a bottled beer or a draft beer. So, and that's the final processing. Once it's carbonated, it's ready to serve.
There you go, finished product. See, 4 growlers. All right, cool, man.